Yeah. So good evening, students. We are back again with session on FM, and we have completed two sessions on investment decision, and today would be the third and the last one. Okay? So till now we have covered six techniques: payback period, discounted payback period, NPV, PI, RR, IRR, correct, and ARR. Apart from that, we have seen when does the conflicting results arise between IRR and NPV. We have understood the concept of sunk cost. We have understood the concept of allocated overheads, etc., etc. So in today's session, our learning outcome or learning objective would be: first, we will understand how to deal with special adjustments while estimating the cash flows. हमने जो फॉर्मेट सीखा था ना, फॉर्मेट of cash inflows, of calculating the cash inflows. So there are certain adjustments. How to deal with those adjustments, we will learn today. Adjustments are particularly related to depreciation. Second, it is related to opportunity cost or gains. Third, capital gains or loss on disposal of asset. Once the project ends, then there are likely chances that company may dispose of the assets. So in that case, capital gains may arise or capital loss may arise. So how to deal with those adjustments while estimating the cash flows, we will learn today. Second learning objective is, I told you about the concept of capital rationing. आज वो भी सीखेंगे. Third but not the least, the last technique, which is modified IRR. In short, it is denoted as MIRR. Okay, so these are the learning objectives of today's session. And after learning this, after explaining this, all the concepts of investment decision as far as capital budgeting would be completed. And if time permits, we will solve some practical problems from module so that you get better insights on how to approach, how to deal with capital budgeting questions. Fair enough? Understood? आज के सेशन में क्या क्या सीखना है? How to watch both recorded classes. It is in the YouTube channel of CA Institutes. The videos will get uploaded in ICAI's YouTube channel, so you can watch from there. Thank you. So let's start. Let's begin with special adjustments. And number one is depreciation. Depreciation, I've already explained you that depreciation itself has no relevance in cash inflow or cash outflow. In that format that we have learned in our very first session, depreciation by itself has no relevance because it is a non-cash expense. So depreciation का capital budgeting में कोई वजूद नहीं है. It is irrelevant. But because of the presence of depreciation, company saves some taxes. Are you getting this? So tax saving on depreciation is relevant. So that's why I explained to you that why we deduct depreciation initially and then why we add back after NPAT. Okay? So depreciation is very simple. By itself, it is a non-cash expense, so it has no significance, no relevance in capital budgeting. But depreciation is an expense. It is a tax deductible expense. So because of its presence, tax will be saved. And hence, we subtract depreciation first, and then we add back after NPAT. Okay? And depreciation methods can be SLM method and can be WDV method. Okay? So based on the information given in the question, we will calculate depreciation accordingly. अगर question में बोला है कि use WDV for calculating depreciation, then we will use WDV. Question में कुछ नहीं बोला. If question is silent about the method of depreciation, then it is always assumed to be on SLM basis. ठीक है? Divide the cost by its useful life. Understood? So this is all about depreciation. Second, again, very important, opportunity cost or opportunity gains. Bolo, what do you mean by opportunity cost or opportunity gains? Will someone like to try? Tell me, what do you mean by this term? You have heard of this term multiple times, I feel. Tell. Let's make this session more interactive. बोलो यार, वेट कर रहा हूं. No one? Okay. Next, for forgivable cost. If money invested in any project, in other project, then the cost or profit we would earn. Okay. Yes, partially you are correct. The cost of choosing one project over another and forego first project's benefit. Okay. Foregoing the benefit. Rightly said. Opportunity cost means foregoing the benefit. Let me give you an example. Let's say I am into a manufacturing business and my manufacturing facilities are across the nation. Okay? Now, I want to expand my business. I want to start a new manufacturing product line. So for that, I would need some space. I would need some space to set up the entire factory or set up the entire manufacturing facility. Yes or no? So currently I have space, but let's say it is in Gujarat. I have this space. I have this land, but currently it is given to company X on rent, and company X gives me rent of rupees 10 lakh every year. मेरे पास space है, already है, but currently I have given that space to some another company on lease or on rental basis, and I am earning rental income out of it. But now, since I want to start my own manufacturing facility, I thought कि क्यों ना मैं इसी जगह पे manufacturing facility construct करूं, इसी जगह को क्यों use ना करूं. So I thought of this thing, right? So now what will happen? I will use this space for my manufacturing purpose. Yes or no? I will use this space for my manufacturing purpose. And can I say, now I will lose this income of 10 lakh every year. I have to let go this income, this rent income every year. Are you getting this? So this is my opportunity cost. Are you following? This is my opportunity cost. So this opportunity cost will always be a part of your cash inflow, cash outflow. Are you following? Understood? So एक space थी, एक land थी that I had given on rent to some another company on rental basis. But now since I want to use for my own business purpose, I've used that space for my company. And now I have to let go, I have to forego that rent. So that foregoing of rental income will be your cost. मतलब हम जो फॉर्मेट बनाते थे ना, सेल्स लेस ऑपरेटिंग कॉस्ट में लेस वेरिएबल कॉस्ट लेस फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट, तो उसमें ये कॉस्ट अपॉर्चुनिटी कॉस्ट ऐड हो जाएगा. आर यू फॉलोइंग? As far as accounting purpose, accounting principle is concerned, there is no relevance for opportunity cost or gains. But as far as financial management is concerned, opportunity cost or opportunity gains do have significance. समझ रहे हो? So this opportunity loss of rental income will be my cost, and I will add with this cost. Are you following? Although it is an opportunity cost, but I have lost, I have foregone that rental income. So I have to consider it as a cost as well as far as financial management is concerned. Accounting perspective में you never debit opportunity cost or you never credit opportunity gains. Following? So opportunity cost is completely relevant for capital budgeting decisions. ये समझ रहा है? I'm explaining you with the help of example so that you can easily grasp. So opportunity cost or opportunity loss in any income is always relevant for your calculation of cash flows. Means वो format में you will add it with other cost. ठीक है? Variable cost, fixed cost के साथ ये add हो जाएगा. So likewise opportunity gains. Likewise opportunity gains. Again, let me explain you with the help of example so that you can easily grasp it. So let's say my manufacturing business is currently labor oriented. Means everything is on manual basis. ठीक है? Laborers काम करते हैं and I pay yearly wages of let's say 20 lakh rupees. ठीक है? But now due to technological advancement, I've replaced this manual labor with machine. अब मेरा सारा मैन्युफैक्चरिंग मशीनरी बेस्ड हो गया due to technological advancements. So can I say now I don't have to pay this 20 lakh every year? So in other words, can I say I will save this cost? Savings in labor cost हो जाएगा अब. So this is an opportunity gain or savings in cost. So this you will add it as a revenue. जो sales लिखते हैं ना, sales format में we start with sales. From with sales you add this savings in cost because it is an inflow for you. Are you following? So opportunity cost will be added with variable cost and fixed cost, but savings in cost or opportunity gains will be added with revenue. समझ रहा है? Again, this savings in labor cost does not have any relevance as far as accounting perspective is concerned, accounting principle is concerned, but financial management do consider opportunity gains as well or savings in cost as well. ठीक है? So savings in cost. So the conclusion of opportunity cost and opportunity gain is that both are relevant for estimating the cash inflows. ठीक है? Opportunity cost you will add with other cost, and opportunity gains or savings in any cost will be added to revenue. Simple. This is the conclusion of special adjustment number 2. Any doubts? Any query? Any concerns? So depreciation we have dealt, opportunity cost, opportunity gains we have dealt. Then I had explained you about sunk cost. Sunk cost, again, it is irrelevant for our decision making because that cost has already been incurred. whether you take the project or not. So it is irrelevant. Then we discussed about allocated overheads. Then we discussed about working capital. Investment in working capital is an outflow in year one. But at the end of project's life, that working capital will be released back because project has now ended. So any investment in working capital, you will get back. So that is an inflow at the end of project's life. This also we had discussed in our very first session. Last but not the least, about capital gains. Capital gains or capital losses. Okay? And this generally arises when there is disposal of asset at the end of project's life. At the end. Okay? Now, capital gains or losses is dependent on the concept of block of assets. आपने टैक्सेशन में पढ़ा है ना, ब्लॉक ऑफ असेट्स. So it is dependent on that same principle that you have learned in your taxation. Same principle. Okay? So let me explain you this concept in FM with the help of illustration that is given in the module. सब लोग आ जाओ पेज नंबर 13, example 2. Suppose A Limited acquired a new machinery for rupees 1 lakh depreciable at 20% as per WDV method. Okay? So 20% is WDV rate. The machine has a life of 5 years. And salvage value means the selling value at the end of life is 10,000. Means 5th year ke end mein, the scrap value ya bhangar value is 10,000. The treatment of depreciation short-term capital losses shall be as follows. Okay? So, cost of machine is 1 lakh. WDV depreciation rate is 20%. Life is 5 years. So, can you tell me, taxation mein, let's say this is the only asset in your block. This is the only asset in the entire block. Means machinery ka jo block of assets hai, usme this is the only asset. So how do you calculate short-term capital gains or short-term capital loss in taxation? कैसे करते थे? कुछ इस तरह करते थे. You start with opening balance, which is 1 lakh. Yes or no? So less depreciation for year one. For first 20%, 20,000. So can I say this is WDV at the end of year one? 80,000. Correct? Now, I will subtract depreciation for second year as well, because I have sold my machinery on the last year. 5th year में बेचा है on scrap basis or on salvage basis. Second year, third year, fourth year तक नहीं बेचा है. So depreciation for second year again at 20%. So can I say 16,000? So my WDV at the end of year 2 would be 64 less depreciation at 20% for year 3. 64 into 2, 128, 12,800, 215, 51,200. Correct? So this is WDV at the end of year 3. Yes or no? Less depreciation at 20% for fourth year, 51,200 into 2, 5,120, 10,240. Yes or no? And this is nothing but WDV at the end of year 4. Or you can say WDV at the beginning. बोलो यहाँ तक कोई क्वेरी है? ऐसे ही करते हैं टैक्सेशन में 4960. ठीक है. नाउ आपने टैक्सेशन में क्या सीखा था? व्हाट हैव यू लर्न इन टैक्सेशन फॉर ब्लॉक ऑफ असेट्स कॉन्सेप्ट? दैट whenever asset is sold, you calculate WDV at the beginning of that year. Are you following? So in this case, we are selling asset in the 5th year. In this case, we are selling asset in the 5th year because salvage value है ना. सर 5th year कहाँ लिखा है? Can you see? Salvage value is 10,000. So salvage value can be earned only at the end of last year. Last year में मिलेगा. Oh, capital gain is not yet started. Okay. So, okay. But till now, is there any query? Till now, this is a very simple calculation that I have done. So, as far as block of asset concept is there now, you have to calculate WDV at the beginning of that year when you are selling the asset. So, in this case, we are selling the asset on 5th year. So, पहले WDV at the beginning of 5th year लेके आओ. What is the WDV at the beginning of 5th year? It is 4960. A WDV at the end of year 4 means WDV at the start of 5th year. So it is 4960. Correct? And then, so this is my WDV in books of accounts. And I have sold it. My selling price is 10,000. So can I say I have incurred a loss of 3960? This is nothing but short-term capital loss. This you will learn in the chapter of capital gains. Are you following? Sir, sale value 10,000 कहाँ से मिला? This salvage value is nothing but sale value of asset, na? This salvage value is nothing but sale value of asset. So what you do? You first find in which year the asset is sold. So in the current scenario, we have sold the asset in 5th year. So first calculate WDV at the beginning of 5th year. How much is the WDV? Means cost कितना पड़ा है? At the beginning of 5th year, it is 4960. And I have sold it for 10,000. So 4960 की चीज मैंने 10,000 में बेच दी. So can I say I have incurred a short-term capital loss? Following? This is a capital loss because we are selling assets. And let's say tax, short-term capital gains tax is 20%. So in this case, I will save some taxes. So tax savings on capital loss. Let's say our tax rate applicable is 15%. So because of the presence of this loss, my company will save some taxes. So tax savings on capital loss would be 3960 का 15%. इतना I will save in the form of taxes. कितना आ रहा है? 3960 into 15%. 4644. ठीक है? And this 4644 tax savings, any savings is an inflow. So this tax savings on capital loss will form part of your inflow. Cash inflow हो जाएगा ये at the end of 5th year. Are you following? So ये 5th year का जो आपका normal cash inflow है ना, the cash inflows that you calculate in that format, you have to add this cash tax savings as well and then discount it. Followed everyone? Simple है. So whenever there is only one asset in your entire block, so what you do, first find out in which year my asset is getting disposed of. So in the current scenario, obviously we would be disposing of the asset at the end of the project's life, which is fifth year. So in this current scenario, we are disposing of the asset in fifth year. So first calculate WDV at the beginning of fifth year. कितना आ रहा है? It is 4960. 4960 is my cost and I'm selling it at 10,000. Means 40,960 रुपए की चीज मैं 10,000 में बेच रहा हूँ. Can I say I'm incurring a loss? So 3960. This is my loss. So my tax savings on loss, because there is a loss, I would save some taxes. हाँ, income होता तो I would have paid that taxes. So tax paid on capital gains will be an outflow. Are you understanding? So this 3960 pay 15%, which comes to 4644. It is your inflow. It is your inflow. But this is not inflow at your first year, second year, third year, fourth year. No. This all thing will happen at the end of fifth year. So हम जो year wise जो format बनाएंगे ना to calculate cash inflow, we will add this in the fifth year's cash inflow and we will discount this as well. Are you getting this? And apart from this, can I say you will earn salvage value of rupees 10,000 as well at the end of fifth year? Yes or no? The sale value, the scrap value, the salvage value. So again, this is your cash inflow at the end of fifth year. So fifth year के end में additionally there would be two inflows. One is salvage value 10,000 you would earn as a sales, and apart from that there would be some tax savings as well. Are you getting this? Is everyone following? Clear? Now let's say instead of 10,000 rupees, sale value is 50,000. Let's say for the time being, my salvage value is 50,000. So first of all, this 50,000 I would receive at the end of fifth year. तो ये तो cash inflow हो जाएगा fifth year के end पे. So this is very clear. This 50,000 would be an inflow at the end of fifth year. So we will discount this with the discounting factor of fifth year. Are you getting this? Now, my WDV at beginning of year 5 is 4960. Means 4960 की चीज मैंने बेची कितने में? 50,000 में. I have sold this for 50,000. Means I have gained, I have earned extra. There is gains for me. Yes or no? 9,040. Correct? So now since there is a gain, I would pay taxes on these gains. So 9040 का 15%. 9040 into 15%. 1356. So this is my tax outflow. मेरे जेब से पैसा जाएगा. So this will form part of your cash outflow at the end of fifth year. Means you have to discount this as well with the discounting factor of fifth year. Following? Yes, we should deduct that tax. Understood? We will pay the taxes now. अब इसमें tax savings नहीं होगा. Savings है तो it will be a part of your inflow. Outflow है taxes का, it will be part of your outflow. So we have to discount this as well because it is happening at the end of fifth year. Are you following? Simple. So capital gains adjustment has to be dealt very carefully. First of all, you have to identify key asset disposal is happening on which year. Let's say it is happening at the end of fifth year. So first calculate WDV at the beginning of fifth year. Then compare it with the sell value. Check whether there is gain or loss. If loss, then there would be savings in taxation. So it will form a part of your inflow. If gains, then you would pay taxes out of your pocket. So it would be an outflow. But at the end of fifth year or at the end of the project's life. Okay? So this is applicable only when there is one asset in your entire block. This is applicable only when there is only one asset. Asset cannot be disposed of in between the years. Yes, because you have undertaken a project for 5 years. So obviously you will need that asset for 5 years unless there are multiple assets used in the project. Are you following? If there is only one asset and project is for 5 years, then obviously you will use that asset for 5 years. Otherwise project वहां पे halt हो जाएगा. But if there are multiple assets in the project, then you can dispose of between the years as well. Understood? So can you see the WDV at the end of fourth year is 4960 and we have sold it for 10,000. So short-term capital loss is 3960. They have considered tax rate of 30% and I have considered tax rate of 15%. So there would be a difference in taxation amount. So this is tax benefit. Tax benefit is nothing but your inflow. Are you getting this? Bolo, any queries? Any doubts? I'm waiting. So case one, scenario one is when there is only one asset in the entire block. When there is only one asset in the entire block. So sir, should we do that loss value? No, loss value has no relevance. Loss value itself has no relevance. Uska tax savings has relevance. Are you following? And the sale value, the 10,000 that you will earn in the form of sales or in the form of salvage value, that has relevance. Okay? Why it has no relevance? Because asset, when we bought the asset at 1 lakh, when we bought the asset at 1 lakh, तब वो आ गया ना इसमें. We had taken it as an outflow. So again, loss has not to be considered separately. Only tax savings on loss has to be considered. And the sale, the scrap value that you earn at the end of last year, that you have to consider. What do we do when we have more than one asset? Okay, so that is case 2. Case 2. When there are multiple assets in the block. Okay, so now visualize there are multiple assets in the block. Okay, again WDV at the beginning of year 5. Since we are selling one asset, since we are selling only one asset from multiple assets, so calculate first. Again, step 1 would be calculate the overall WDV for all the assets at the beginning of year 5. ठीक है, सब assets का सबका मिला के WDV find करो. Okay, so let's say it comes to 90,000 for all the assets. This is for all the assets in the block. ठीक है, 90,000. And from this, we will subtract the sale value for the asset which is sold. which is sold. ठीक है? So let's say the sale value is 10,000. So the balance is 80,000, correct? Now this balance is to be depreciated at 20%. Since my WDV rate is 20%, so my depreciation, see, if only one asset is sold from multiple assets, can I say the block will continue? So we have to depreciate for other assets. So depreciation, instead of 90,000, it will be provided on 80,000 because 90,000 में से 10,000 का asset चला गया. So now only the balance is to be depreciated at 20%. So there would not be any short-term capital gains or capital loss because the block of asset is still there. Are you following? Because the block of asset is still there. So now depreciation आएगा. Depreciation would be 80,000 का 20%, which comes to 16,000. There would not be any short-term capital loss and gains because the block of asset is still there. Only one asset from the block has been disposed of. So other assets are still there. So you have to provide depreciation. Are you following? So in that case, my depreciation would be 16,000. So हम जो format बनाते थे ना, sales less variable cost, contribution less fixed cost, excluding depreciation, NPBDT less depreciation. Yes or no? So in year 5, my depreciation would be 16,000. Are you following? I will subtract 16,000 as depreciation. Well, any doubts? Rihanna, is it clear now? When only part assets or few assets are sold and the block continues, then there would not be any short-term capital loss or gains. You have to just calculate depreciation on the remaining balance. ठीक है? And ध्यान देना, accounting, from accounting perspective, we used to deduct the cost. Whenever disposal of assets happen, as far as accounting principle is concerned, we used to deduct the cost. But here, as far as taxation is concerned, we deduct the sale value. Following? You will learn this in capital gains chapter as well, under the concept of block of assets. But still, I'm clearing out to you because we need to know this in FM as well. Getting understood? Bolo, any doubts, any queries? So you have to check whether the block is still there or block is completely disposed of. वो check करना है. And based on that, capital gains, capital loss will arise or depreciation will be provided. ठीक है? But friends, don't miss out to take this as an inflow. Sale value will always be a part of your inflow. Salvage or scrap will always be a part of your inflow at the end of project's life or at the year when the asset is sold. Generally, वो last में ही होता है. But if it is sold in between, then it will form part of your inflow. Don't forget to take that. Any doubts? Acha, now let me give you another illustration. When there are multiple assets are there in the block and only one is disposed of. ठीक है? Now my question to you again, sell or disposal of asset is happening at the end of 5th year. मतलब 5th year में हो रहा है. So first step is to calculate WDV at the beginning of 5th year. ठीक है. Let's say WDV is 80,000. Let's say WDV is 80,000. Now this is hypothetical situation. Huh? The asset, the only one asset that I'm disposing of now, the sale value. मुझे बहुत अच्छा डील मिल गया. I sold it for 90,000. I sold it for 90,000. बोलो what will happen? क्या होगा? Tell me. In this scenario, what will happen? There are multiple assets again. There are multiple assets in the block. उसमें से I'm disposing of only one. So first step is to calculate WDV for all the assets at the beginning. So it is 80,000. But I have sold the asset for 90,000. Somewhere I got a very good deal. So I sold it at 90,000. So in this scenario, what will happen? Capital gain. Yes, correct. Julie is correct. Neeraj is correct. Rihanna is correct. So now in this case, there is no balance for depreciation. In fact, you have gained. So there would be capital gains arising. Even though the block exists, huh? Even though the block exists. So there is capital gain of rupees 10,000 and you will pay taxes at 15% on these gains. Understood? Someone has raised hand. Let me know your query. All of you are correct. So in this case, even though the block of asset, the other assets are still in existence, but no depreciation will be provided. Now straightforward capital gains of 10,000 and pay taxes at 15%. So this would be your outflow. This would be your outflow at the end of 5th year. And this sale value is always an inflow. Following? So with this, we complete all the different permutations, combinations as far as capital gains or capital loss or block of asset is concerned. Any doubts, friends? So yes, you guessed it right. In this scenario, capital gains will occur. Okay? So step 1, identify whether there is only one asset in the block or whether there are multiple assets. If only one asset is there in the block, then we will have to go for case 1, scenario 1. If there are multiple assets in the block, then scenario 2, case 2. No, so what value rest assets will be recorded? When we buy the assets, they are already recorded, na? At the time of buying, at the time of investing in the assets, they are already recorded. So now in this scenario, no depreciation has to be provided because you have earned something more and above your WDV. So there is no space, no balance left for providing depreciation. ये WDV कैसे आया होगा? 80,000 कैसे आया होगा? ओरिजिनल इन्वेस्टमेंट से डेप्रिसिएशन माइनस कर करके आया होगा. So original investment, the buy value of asset is already been considered at the time of year 1. Initial investment के साथ वो outflow में आ गया है. Please explain again. Entire thing. What do you want me to explain? This part that you can see on the screen or this part? Case 2, scenario 1, when there are multiple assets in the block and only one asset is getting sold. Okay. So first of all, again, identify the year in which asset is getting disposed of. So in our present scenario, it is getting disposed of in the year 5. So first step, calculate WDV at the beginning of year 5 for all the assets, because now there are multiple assets in the block. So WDV, let's say it is 90,000 for all the assets. From this, we will subtract sale value of the asset which is getting disposed of. And the sale value is 10,000. So when I say there is balance of 80,000 left, but this cannot be my capital gains or loss because there are other assets still in the block. So this 80,000 is the value on which I have to depreciate the other assets. Are you following? So this is the value or the balance on which depreciation has to be provided, but for the other assets. Understood? So इस केस में कोई कैपिटल लॉस या कैपिटल गेन नहीं आएगा. Now, second part, when there are again multiple assets in the block and only one asset is disposed of. Again, WDV is 80,000, but the sale value of the asset that is getting disposed of is 90,000. I got some good deal in the market. So sub asset ka mila ke WDV was 80,000 and I sold one asset at 90,000. So can I say negative 10,000 aa jayega balance? So negative 10,000. There is no balance left for depreciation. In fact, you have gained in this deal. So there would be no depreciation. Instead, there would be capital gains. Okay? And you have to pay taxes on that capital gains. Clear? So this is all about special adjustment number 3, capital gains and capital loss. So understood how to deal with depreciation, how to deal with opportunity cost and gains, and how to deal with capital gains or capital loss. Okay? Now let's move to our next topic, which is capital rationing. What does so here you don't have to follow the accounting treatment. That is what I've cleared. In taxation and FM, it is different from accounting perspective. Here you have to follow simple this concept. WDV कितना है, उसमें से सेल वैल्यू कितना है, वो माइनस कर दो. If there is gains, you pay taxes. And if there is still balance left, you provide depreciation only on the balance. This is how FM and taxation works. Okay? So it is completely different from accounting treatment. So here you don't have to follow accounting rules. You have to follow taxation rules. Capital rationing. First, let's understand the meaning of this term, capital rationing. Capital simply means funds, money, paisa. Okay? And rationing means constraint. So capital rationing ideally means companies facing funds constraints. Means पैसों की तंगी, पैसे नहीं है कंपनी के पास. In other terms, let's say there are multiple projects with positive NPV. And all the projects are very lucrative. So ideally, all the projects should be accepted. But company के पास सब project ले सके, उतने पैसे नहीं है. So that situation is called capital rationing situation. But company is not able to accept all such projects. Why? Because of fund constraints. Because of fund constraints. Understood? So there are multiple projects and all the projects are super lucrative. but company is not able to invest in all the projects. It is only able to invest in few projects because there is no funds available with the company. So that situation is called capital rationing situation. Understood? Understood. Meaning समझा पहले. Now how to deal with practical problems for capital situation, we will see that. ठीक है. So capital rationing जब word बोलूं मैं, in your conscious you have to recollect that it means funds constraints to the company. There are multiple projects, all of them are lucrative, but company is not able to invest in all the projects because it does not have enough funds. ठीक है. So how to deal with capital rationing situation and how to solve problems on capital rationing situation. Let's learn that. So first of all, any project can either be of two types. One is independent or divisible projects. And one is non-divisible projects or indivisible projects. देखो अब आपके पास there are multiple projects. Let's say A, B, C, D, E. सबके NPV is positive. सबके NPV is positive. Let's say the cost of project A is 1 lakh, B is 1.5 lakh, 3 lakh, 4 lakh, 2.5 lakh. And all these projects are super lucrative. लेने ही चाहिए. So if you take all the projects, then the total funds that you need is 1 lakh plus 1.5 plus 3 plus 4 plus 2.5. बोलो कितना? 1, 2, 5, 9, 11, 12 lakhs. ठीक है? So if you take all the projects, you would need funds of 12 lakhs. But company has a maximum budget. Company has a maximum budget of, let's say, 8 lakhs. So obviously it will not be able to take all the projects because requirement is 12 lakhs, but the budget capital raised is only 8 lakhs. So few has to be ignored. Yes or no? Few has to be ignored. Now tell me, I am asking you as a layman, socho practically, which project should be considered and which project should be let go by the company. कौन से प्रोजेक्ट कंपनी को जाने देना चाहिए, कौन से प्रोजेक्ट को कंपनी को लेना चाहिए, बताओ. सोचो practically. What do you think? Which project shall be acceptable and which project shall be rejected? Although it does not want to reject. Higher NPVs are right. Correct. Correct. Yes, correct. So Dhanush says that sir, इसमें से जिसके higher NPV है, give rankings based on NPV. Give rankings to the project based on NPV. Let's say from this 5 project, B has highest NPV. So give ranking as 1. So B तो लेना ही चाहिए. Likewise, D has second highest NPV. So give ranking as 2. Likewise, A has third best NPV. Give ranking as 3 and accordingly based on rankings, you accept the project. Correct? This is what you are trying to say, Dhanush. Highest 4 NPVs. Okay, highest 4 NPV. So let's say this is 4 and let's say this is 5. So highest 4 is 1.5 plus 4 plus 1 and 2.5. So 1.5 plus 4, 5.5, 6.5, 9 हो रहा है फिर भी. If we take highest 4 NPVs, then my total funds that I required is 9 lakh, but I have 8 lakh rupees. अब क्या करें? Sir, 3. अब 3 ले लो sir. Okay. So for that, see, can you see there is now difference of opinion coming from all the students? Sir, 4 नहीं ले पा रहे तो 3 ले लो. So for that, first we need to understand that type of is whether it is a divisible project or non-divisible project. Divisible project means part project is also possible. Is possible. Divisible project means part project is possible. What do you mean by part project? Let's say my project value is 3 lakh. If I take entire project, it will cost 3 lakh. But I just have now excess of 1 lakh rupees. So you just take 1/3 of the project. Are you following? Are you following this? So that means part project is possible. If you take entire project, you have to invest 3 lakh. But you just have funds of 1 lakh, then take 1/3 of the project. Invest only 1/3 in the project. So that is the project is possible. Are you following? And non-divisible project means part is not possible. Means if you want to take a project, then take entirely. Otherwise, don't take. Are you following? तो आपका जो डिफरेंस ऑफ ओपिनियन आ रहे थे ना अभी आंसर में, सो फर्स्ट यू हैव टू डिसाइड whether the projects are divisible or non-divisible. If that are divisible, then part is possible. So you can take part projects. But if it is non-divisible, you have to take on entirety. Means लेना हो तो पूरा लो वरना मत लो. How to find that? It will be given in the question. They will provide that projects are indivisible or the projects are independent or divisible. वो question बताएगा. Now, if the projects are indivisible now, this is very important. This is अरे यार कलर चेंज नहीं हो रहा है. When the projects are independent, your rankings has to be based on profitability index. Means calculate profitability index for each project and give rankings based on PI index, because PI index is how much inflow 1 rupee of investment is generating for you. Are you following? So when projects are divisible, you give rankings. First you calculate profitability index, or either you calculate profitability index or you calculate NPV per 1 rupee of investment. And based on that, provide rankings. And if the projects are not divisible, you give rankings based on NPV, जो हमने अभी यहाँ पे किया. Are you following? So first of all, you have to identify whether the projects are divisible or indivisible. If divisible, then either you calculate profitability index or you calculate NPV of the project per 1 rupee of investment. And after that, give rankings. And if the projects are indivisible, simply calculate NPV, give rankings and take the best projects. Take the projects with highest NPVs. Following? जो आपका आंसर था. So the conclusion of capital rationing situation is, if projects are divisible, that means part project is possible, then give rankings based on PI or NPV per 1 rupee of investment. Means 1 रुपया लगाने पे मेरा प्रोजेक्ट कितना एनपीवी जनरेट कर रहा है, दैट इज एनपीवी पर 1 rupee of investment. And if the projects are indivisible, that means part project is not possible, you give ranking simply based on NPV. And then select those projects which has highest NPVs. Okay? We will solve one question so that It is thoroughly clear to you all. But did you understand the meaning of capital rationing? What is capital rationing situation? What are the different types of projects? And in case of each project, how to give rankings? Did you follow that? Okay. So let's take a practical problem so that it gets completely clear. Numbers give more clarity. Huh? Numbers and examples always gives more clarity. I need to search here. So can you see if projects are independent or divisible, ranking has to be provided on NPV per rupee of capital or profitability index. Even if you calculate profitability index and give rankings, the answer would come same only. So don't worry in that. And if projects are indivisible, decision has to be taken based on the NPV rankings. Following? So we have illustration number 13. Shiva Limited is planning its capital investment program for next year. It has 5 projects, all of which give a positive NPV at the company cutoff rate of 15%. So companies WACC is 15% and all of this has positive NPV. Can you see NPV over here? In this case, we don't need to calculate NPV. Already वो लोग ने calculate कर दिया है. Understood? The investment amount is so and so. So tell me, what is the, if I take all the projects, अगर मेरे पास funds होते हैं, how much would I need? Total 50 plus 40 plus 25 plus 30 plus 35. So 50 plus 40, 90, 110, 140, 170, 180. So if I have enough funds of 1,80,000, then I can take all the projects because all of them are very lucrative. But the company has funds of rupees 1,20,000 only. So obviously it has to accept some and reject some. So this situation is called as capital rationing situation. Now, how to deal with capital rationing situation? I explained you that first decide whether the projects are divisible or not divisible. So in the current scenario, the question says that the projects are independent and are divisible. That means part project is possible. Okay, तो अब क्वेश्चन ने ये भी बता दिया कि this is a capital rationing का question because the total investment, if we take all the projects, the amount is 180, but the company has capital spending of 120. So capital rationing situation arises. So now next step is to identify whether the projects are divisible or indivisible. Again, the question says that the projects are divisible. So our rankings has to be based on PI or NPV per 1 rupee of investment. ठीक है? In the current scenario, projects are divisible. Means part project is possible. So our rankings to be given will be based on either you calculate profitability index or NPV per 1 rupee of investment. कौन सा करना है बोलो? PI से करे कि NPV 1 rupee of investment से करे कि दोनों से करे? Answer would be same. Rankings would come same in both the scenarios. Tell me. You tell me. कौन सा करूं? सर आपको जो मन हो वो करो. Okay, let's do it by both the ways. ठीक है. So this is project A, B, C, D, E. ओके, दोनों से कर लेते. प्रोजेक्ट ए, बी, सी, डी, ई. एनपीवी, this is investment amount, and third column would be NPV for 1 rupee of investment. ठीक है. And then fourth column would be rankings. So project A का NPV, in this question they have directly given NPV. Yeah? If it is not given, then you have already learned how to calculate NPV. It is nothing but PVCI minus PVCO. लोग यहाँ पे गलती करते हैं. This 15,400 they consider it as PVCI. Rather it is NPV. 18,700, 10,100. 11,200, 19,300. My investment amount is 50,000 for project A. 40, 25, 30, 35. 40, 25, 30, 35. Can you help me in calculating NPV per 1 rupee of investment? Means simply you have to divide NPV with investment. NPV divided by investment. 15,400 divided by 50,000. So my 1 rupee of investment is generating an NPV of 0.31 rupees. Are you following? This is how you interpret. Project A ka NPV is 15,400. Investment is 50,000. So 1 rupee of investment in project A is generating 0.31 rupees of NPV, yeah? Not PVCI. 0.308. Likewise, help me in calculating NPV per 1 rupee of investment for other projects. 18,700 divided by 40,000. 0.468. Okay, let's round it off to 2 decimal. 0.47. For year 3, 0.40. For year 4, sorry, not year, but project B, 0.38. And for project E, 0.55. ठीक है. तो बोलो, हाईएस्ट एनपीवी कौन सा प्रोजेक्ट जनरेट करके दे रहा है? हाईएस्ट एनपीवी पर 1 rupee of investment. So project E is generating more. 1 रुपया लगाने पे project E is generating 0.55. Highest. So my ranking would be 1. Then second best is project B. ठीक है. Then third best is project C. Fourth best is project D. And fifth best is project A. So this is your rankings. Means हमें अब ये rankings के हिसाब से we have to decide. So I have 1,20,000 का spending limit. Yes or no? I have total funds of 1,20,000 in my pocket. So will I be able to take entire project T? बताओ. Yes, 35,000 ही चाहिए. So I will subtract 35,000. Take entire project E. Correct? कितना बैलेंस बचा? 120 minus 35. 85. I still have 85,000 in my kitty. Go for second best ranking, which is 40,000. Will I be able to take entire project B? Yes, I have 85,000 still in my kitty. So take project B as well. बचा कितना? 45,000 still balance in my kitty. Go for third ranking. 25,000 का है project C. Will I be able to take entire project C? Yes, I have enough funds. ले लो. बचा कितना? 20,000 बैलेंस इन द किटी. प्रोजेक्ट सी. ठीक है. गो फॉर फोर्थ रैंकिंग. प्रोजेक्ट डी इज 20,000. पूरा नहीं ले सकता मैं. बचा है 20,000 एंड फंड रिक्वायरमेंट इज 30,000. So can I say I can just take two-third of project D? Yes or no? Sir, how two-third? ये बच्चा है 20,000, balance in the kitty is 20,000 and project cost is 30,000. And since the projects are divisible, part project is possible. So I can take 20,000 divided by 30,000. Two-third of project D. Following? हाँ, अगर ये project indivisible होता तो आई वुड नॉट बी एबल टू टेक प्रोजेक्ट डी. मुझे जाने देना पड़ता. तो जाने देता. चलो, वी विल सी दैट in our next episode. But right now, did you understand this? So when the projects are divisible, you take entire project T, you take entire project B, you take entire project C, and you just take two-third of project D. Understood how capital rationing situation when projects are divisible? Followed? बोलो, any doubts? बोलो बोलो बोलो. Waiting for you. So let's check the solution. So can you see project E is taken, B is taken, C is taken, and two-third of D is taken. समझा? So my entire investment of 1,20,000 is utilized. And this 1,20,000 of investment will generate combined NPV of 55,600. Followed? How to calculate in other method? PI, na? PI. Now let me calculate PI and give rankings. मैंने बोला either you can use NPV per 1 rupee of investment or either you can calculate PI. So let's calculate PI first. Calculate PI, and this PI has to be followed only when projects are divisible. Huh? Tell me, what is the formula of PI? Can I say PI is nothing but PVCI upon PVCO? Yes or no? I have PVCO in the question. Do I have PVCI? Directly given in the question, कहीं पे दिया है? A non-divisible का I will come to that point. So please wait. I will come to that part. We will again solve this entire question by taking the projects as non-divisible. So please wait till that time. Right now, just focus on projects are divisible and now our calculations are based on PI. Bolo, PI is nothing but PVCI upon PVCO. Yes or no? PVCO is directly given in the question, but is PVCI given directly? ये बताओ यार. No, it is not given. So we have to calculate PVCI. कैसे कैलकुलेट करेंगे? एनपीवी के हेल्प से कैलकुलेट करेंगे. एनपीवी इज नथिंग बट पीवीसीआई लेस पीवीसीओ. आई हैव एनपीवी फॉर ऑल द प्रोजेक्ट्स. आई हैव पीवीसीओ फॉर ऑल द प्रोजेक्ट्स. सो आई वुड इजीली गेट पीवीसीआई. ठीक है. सो प्रोजेक्ट ए, फॉर प्रोजेक्ट ए एनपीवी इज हाउ मच? 15,400. B, C, D, E. 18,700, 10,100. 11,200, 19,300 is equal to X. Minus 50, 40, 25, 30, 35. 40, 25, 30, 35. So can I say I will get PVCI with the help of NPV का formula? So बताओ PVCI for project A, B, C, D, E कितना आ रहा है बताओ? 15,400 plus 50,000, 65,400, 18,700 plus 40,000, 58,700. सिंपल मैथमेटिकल इक्वेशन है. 35,100, 41,200, 35, 40, 55, 54,300. Yes or no? So my PI for project A, B, C, D, E would be, चलो यहाँ पे कर दे. PI for project A, B, C, D, E would be 65,400 divided by 50,000. For B, it would be 58,700 divided by 40,000. For C, it would be 35,100 divided by 25,000. For D, it would be 41,200 divided by 30,000. And for E, it would be 54,300 divided by 35,000. करो कितना आ रहा है? Profitability index for project A 1.31. So 1 rupee of investment is generating cash inflow, not NPV now. Cash inflow of 1.31 rupees in present value terms. 1.31, 1.47, 1.40, 1.37 and 1.55. So if you want to calculate PI very easily na, see a shortcut. देखो कंपेयर करो. दिस वाज 0.31. बस इसमें आपको 1 रुपी ऐड करना है. Since NPV is positive, you have to just add 1 to calculate PVCI. So देखो 1.31, 1.47, 1.40, 1.38, 1.55. Simply this is a shortcut calculation. सब में 1 रुपी ऐड कर दो, you will get PVCI. Yes, correct. Julie is correct. So can I say ranking would be again be same? Sorry. Ranking same ही होगा. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So since the rankings are same, in both the case answer would again be same. So either you use PI calculations or either you use NPV per 1 rupee of investment ka calculation. Rankings would be same. Understood? So you can use any of the methods. Correct. So this is a shortcut technique. कि NPV में सीधा 1 ऐड कर दो. Since NPV is positive, PVCI has to be more than PVCO. मतलब 1 से ज्यादा ही होना चाहिए वो. So you just add it 1. Or else You can solve it by this method as well. Okay? So understood when projects are divisible. So this question was all about capital rationing situation when projects are divisible. And now let's solve for our practice when projects are non-divisible or indivisible. Means now part project is not possible. Either you take entire project or you don't take, you ignore that. So in this scenario, we have to give rankings based on NPV only, direct on NPV. So this is project A, B, C, D, E. NPV 15,400. फिर कितना था 18,700, 10,100. 11,200, 19,300. 11,200, 19,300. Now directly give rankings. Project with highest NPV will be given rank 1. Then second best project is project B. Third best project is project A. Fourth best project is project D. And fifth best project is project C. Correct? This is our rankings. So now let's start the game. I have 1,20,000 in my kitty. So first ranking is project E. And the cost of project E is 35,000. This is 30,000. I guess this was 25,000. This was 40,000 and this was 50,000. Correct? These were my investment. So can I take entire project E? Yes, I have enough funds. So 35,000 you subtract. Entire project T can be taken. ठीक है बैलेंस कितना बचा 85. Now go for next best ranking, which is project B. And project B is costing me 40,000. Do I have enough funds in my kitty? Yes, obviously. So take entire project B. So balance left is 45,000. Third best project is project A, which costs for 50,000. Do I have enough funds of 50,000? No. I just have 45,000 in my kitty. बोलो मैं ले पाऊंगा project A? No, I cannot take project A because part project is not possible. So you have to ignore. So project A gets ignored. Reject. I don't have funds. So now go for बेस्ट रैंकिंग अगेन उसके बाद कौन सा प्रोजेक्ट है प्रोजेक्ट डी इज कॉस्टिंग 30,000 yes or no project D is costing 30,000 so I can take project D as well and my balance would be 15,000 fifth best ranking project C. Will I be able to take project C? Will I be able to take project C? No, because I don't have enough funds. Because I don't have enough funds. So this 15,000 will still be left in my kitty. So if in future any project of 15,000 comes, then I can take. So can I say this would be my best combination when projects are indivisible? Following. So this is my balance left. So wait for some another projects to come. This will be left as idle funds with the company. Understood how to calculate or how to make decision when projects are indivisible? Clear? Clear, sir. Clear. Easy tha. So with this, we also complete concept of capital rationing. So let's check our learning outcome of today's session. Special adjustments. While estimating the cash flows, we have completed depreciation, opportunity cost and gains, capital gains. We have completed capital rationing as well. So now, last concept or last technique. Yeah, so you just visualize how easy would be other chapters. Yahi tough tha. So how easy would be other chapters? So I told you FM is very practical, very logical, and it is more about formats and formulas. So if you are through with formats and formulas, FM is highly scoring. Chalo, let's go and learn our last technique, which is modified internal rate of return. MIRR. This is the last technique that we need to learn in this chapter. As the name suggests, modified IRR. Means can I say this is something advanced version of IRR? Modified, upgraded version of IRR. So this would be more logical compared to IRR because this is the advanced version. Are you following? So it is advanced, one level above IRR. Now what does this technique say? Very logical, very logical. Again, this is very logical. Let's say there is a project with a life of 5 years and you are generating cash inflows every year. Please pay attention. This is little complicated. ठीक है, प्रोजेक्ट की लाइफ 5 years है and this is the pattern of cash inflows that is generated every year. My desired rate or my cutoff rate is 12%. Now see, what does this technique say? This modified internal rate of return says कि यार as a rational investor or a rational business organization, ये जो 10,000 है that you have earned in the end of year 1, you will not keep this idle with you. You will reinvest this for another 4 years. Are you getting this? ये पैसा 10,000 आप जो year 1 में कमाओगे, the 10,000 that you will earn at the end of year 1, you will not keep it as idle in your bank account or your pocket. You will reinvest this somewhere for further 4 years. Are you getting this? At what rate? At this rate, 12%, because this is your desired rate of return. So ये 10,000 आप reinvest करोगे for another 4 years. So can I say this 10,000 will be invested at 12% for another 4 years? 12%, 12%, 12%, 12%. Yes or no? Are you following this? Are you getting this? The cash inflow that you have generated in first year will never be kept idle by the business organization. It will be reinvest somewhere in other projects, in business or product anywhere at this rate, at your desired rate. So कहने से 10,000 का 12%, 12%, 12%, 12% ऐड करेंगे तो at the end of fifth year the value would be बताओ कितना होगा 10,000 plus 12% plus 12% plus 12% plus 12%, 15,735 होगा at the end of fifth year. Yeah, are you following this? Any queries in this? बोलो. ये नहीं समझेगा तो I cannot go ahead. This is very important. Did you get this? Okay, no response, then I will move forward. So likewise, 15,000 that you are earning at the end of year 2 will be reinvested for another 3 years. Following? You will not keep this as idle with you. So ये 15,000 will be reinvested for 3 years. 12% plus 12% plus 12%. कितना होगा? 15,000 plus 12% plus 12% plus 12%. So can I say 15,000 will become 21,074 at the end of fifth year? Yeah, we are finding future value of 10,000. Yes, correct. So another way of solving is using the formula future value. Future value is equal to present value 1 plus r raised to n, which is nothing but 10,000 1.12 raised to 4. ठीक है? So ऐसे करो तो भी चलेगा. Or you just keep on adding 12%, 12%, that is also okay. Likewise, the cash inflow of 18,000 that is generated at the end of year 3 will again be reinvested for 2 years. So 18,000 plus 12% plus 12%, which comes to rupees. This is nothing but calculation of future value. 18,000 plus 12% plus 12%. So 18,000 का हो जाएगा 22,579.2 at the end of year 5th. Correct? Likewise, this 20,000 at the end of year 4 will be invested for 1 year. So 20,000 plus 12% will become 22,400 at the end of year 5th. Correct? And likewise, 25,000 at the end of year 5th. It will not be reinvested. It will be as it is because 5th year is our last year. So can I say 25,000 का तो 25,000 ही रहेगा at the end of year 5th. Yes or no? बोलो यहाँ तक any doubts? Any queries? So have you noticed that I have brought all the individual cash inflows to only single cash inflow at the end of year 5th? मतलब year 5th को हम देखेंगे, my cash inflow would be 15,735 plus 21,074 plus 22,579 plus 22,400 plus 25,000. So we have brought all the individual cash inflows to only one single cash inflow at the end of year 5th. And this total कितना आ रहा है? करो टोटल 106,428. So can I say at the end of year fifth मेरा cash inflow हो जाएगा 106,428, and this cash inflow is technically called as terminal value cash inflow. Terminal value cash inflow. Terminal value means value at the end of the project's life. जो लास्ट ईयर होता है ना प्रोजेक्ट का, that is called terminal year. So this is called as terminal value cash inflow. Means cash inflow at the terminal year. Terminal year means last year. 106,788. Okay. ठीक है. सो अगर आप ध्यान से देखो तो माय कैश इनफ्लोस is 0 in year 1, 0 in year 2, 0 in year 3, 0 in year 4, and 106,788 in year 5. Are you following? All the individual cash inflows has been brought to a single year cash inflow, which is called terminal value cash inflow or cash inflow at terminal year. Are you following? Are you following? ठीक है. And let's say my project cost or my original investment is 80,000. So my modified IRR, see what was IRR? IRR is that rate where present value of cash inflow equals present value of cash outflow. Correct? So what would be modified IRR? Modified IRR is that rate where your present value of terminal cash inflow is equal to PVCO. Are you following? This is the only difference. IRR is that rate where your PVCI equals to PVCO. But MIRR, modified internal rate of return, is that rate where your present value of terminal cash inflow is equal to present value of cash outflow. So how to calculate MIRR? Again, use trial and error method. Again, use trial and error method. First, start with 10%, then jump to 12%, then jump to 15%, as the case may be. But samjha, in MIRR, we are bringing all the individual cash inflows to a single stream of cash inflow at the end of project life, which is called as present value of terminal cash inflow or cash inflow at terminal year. So now, instead of individual year का cash inflow, हमारे पास अब एक ही year का cash inflow है. That is at the terminal year, which is project's life, which is the end of project's life. Understood? So let's take trial one. Trial one. Calculation of NPV, or rather I would say terminal NPV when discounting rate is 12%. Sir, 12% क्यों लिया? क्योंकि our trial one, we will start with the reinvestment rate. यहाँ पे दिया है ना reinvestment rate 12%. तो उससे ट्रायल वन स्टार्ट करो. Are you getting this? So again, we will prepare a table 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cash inflow nil 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 106,788. Discounting factor at 12%. We are not concerned with this year's. Bolo, discounting factor 12% for year 5. It is nothing but 1 divided by 1.12 raised to 5. कितना आ रहा है? 0.5674. So my PVCI, or rather I would say present value of terminal cash inflow. Present value of terminal cash inflow. कितना आया? 106,788, 6594, 6594, and my PVCO is 80,000. Correct? It is 80,000. So can I say my NPV is negative? My investment is 80,000. And my present value of terminal cash inflow comes to 6594. So can I say my NPV is 6594 minus 80,000? 19,406. 19,406 negative, correct? So now हमारा next step क्या होता था कि in this case it is coming negative in trial 1. So can I say to bring this to 0, I need to increase my present value because you already minus में. This is already negative. I have to increase it to 0. I have to bring it to 0. So I have to increase it. So can I say I have to reduce my discounting rate now? Because lower the discounting rate, more would be the present value. Yes or no? Are you following? Is this clear? So let's take trial 2 at a gap of 5%. So trial 2. Or let's take a gap of 4%. Calculation of NPV. Terminal NPV. Yeah? When discounting rate is now 8%. So again, we will prepare same table. Cash inflow, discounting factor at 8% now, and present value of terminal cash inflow. Now I'm not writing first 4 years, direct 5th year पे जाएंगे. 106,788 1 divided by 1.08 raised to 5. बोलो कितना आ रहा है discounting factor? 0.6806. 0.6806. So my present value of terminal cash inflow comes to 72, still negative. 72,678. 72,678. So my NPV in this case, it would be negative 72,678 minus 80,000. 7322. Negative 7322. Okay? Negative 7322. So again, I need to increase this NPV to 0 to bring it to 0. Correct? Again, I need to increase this NPV to bring it to 0. So my third trial would be less than 8% now. So trial 3, NPV. When now let's take trial 3 at 5%. When discounting rate is 5%. You can take more than right. Sorry. 9%, sir, more than right, negative. हाँ 8% पे नेगेटिव आ रहा है तो 9% पे नेगेटिव ही आएगा. We have to bring down the discounting rate. Okay, now let's do trial 3 at 5%. Again, here, 5th, cash inflow 106,788, discounting factor at 5%, and PV of terminal cash inflow. करो कितना आ रहा है discounting factor at 5% for year 5th? 0.7835. And PV comes to 83,671. हाँ शब पॉजिटिव आ गया. ठीक है, so NPV comes to positive 3671. Okay, done. So now we can do that interpolation. सर इट इज वेरी फास्ट. व्हाट इज वेरी फास्ट? देखो ट्रायल वन आई डिड एट 12%. हमारा जो डिस्काउंटिंग रेट दिया हुआ था आई डिड एट 12%. सो व्हेन discounting rate is 12%, I got negative NPV of 19,406. But IRR says that your NPV has to be zero. Correct? IRR में हमने सीखा था. IRR is that point where NPV is zero. So again, MIRR is also that point where NPV is zero. So to bring this NPV to zero, can I say I have to increase this by 19,406? So to increase your present value, I have to lower my discounting rate, because lower the discounting rate, higher would be the present value. So our next trial has to be something less than 12%. ठीक है. So हमने 4% का गैप लिया. So our trial 2 was considering the discounting rate of 8%. So 8% पे हम एनपीवी कैलकुलेट करते हैं ना, तो 7322 नेगेटिव आ रहा है अभी भी. इट इज नॉट कमिंग टू जीरो. So 8% is also not my MIRR, because it is not coming to zero. I want it to come to zero. So to bring this to zero, can I say मुझे एनपीवी बढ़ाना होगा, नेगेटिव से जीरो तक लेके जाने के लिए बढ़ाना होगा. So again, to increase the present value, I have to lower my discounting rate. So now trial 3 has to be less than 8%, something less than 8%. So now I took a gap of 3 percentage points. Sorry, 300 percentage points. So trial 3, I took, or I calculated NPV when discounting rate is at 5%. So 5% discounting rate pay, I am getting a positive NPV. Are you following? So now I can do interpolation, because zero would lie somewhere between negative 7322 and positive 3671. Is it clear now? Jayendra? Simply, we are just calculating NPV at different discounting rates. Okay. So when discounting rate, now we are doing interpolation. Huh? When discounting rate was 8%, my NPV was negative 7322. When I decrease this discounting rate by 3%, and when my trial 2 was at 5%, my NPV comes to positive 3671. And I want it at zero. I want my NPV to be zero. So obviously it would be somewhere between 8 and 5. So can I say my MIRR would obviously be something 8 minus something, or 5 plus something? Yes or no? 8 से कम और 5 से ज्यादा, because 0 is lying between 8 and 5. So 8 से कम, 5 से ज्यादा. Correct? So 8 minus something. Now let's calculate that something using interpolation. By reducing my discounting rate by 3%. 3% कैसे आया? 8 से 5 लिया ना ट्रायल. First trial was 8, second was 5. My NPV increased now. By how much rupees? So it increased by 7322 plus 587, 3671. Are you following? By decreasing the discounting rate, my NPV increased by 7322 plus 3671. Yeah, are you getting this? So 7322 plus 3671. 10993 से बढ़ गया. 3% घटाने से, by reducing it by 3%, it increased by 10993. But I just want my NPV to increase by 7322 only. मुझे 0 तक ही पहुंचना है, मुझे यहां तक नहीं पहुंचना है. This is my stop point. This is not my stop point. So I just want it to want my NPV to get increased by 7322. So how much rate I need to fall? Cross multiply. 7322 multiply by 3 divide by 10,993. So 7322 multiply by 3 divide by 10,993. Exact nearly 2%. So 8 minus 2. So my MIRR comes to 6%. Understood? And if you are not able to recollect or solve by interpolation, then use that formula of IRR. Lower rate plus NPV at lower rate, the whole divided by NPV at lower rate minus NPV at higher rate, multiply by higher rate minus lower rate. You can use that formula as well. समझा? MIRR technique. So MIRR technique and IRR technique has only one difference. That is about reinvestment assumption. ठीक है? Followed? Any doubts? And this is advanced version of IRR. The only difference is IRR is that rate where your present value of cash inflow equates with present value of cash outflow. But MIRR is that rate of return where your present value of terminal cash inflow equates with present value of cash outflow. Understood? Well, any doubts, any concerns in MIRR technique? Modified internal rate of return. So this illustration number 9, you can try it as homework. Huh? They have given the stream of cash inflows each year 30,000, 40,000, 60,000, 30,000, 20,000. They have given the cost of capital, that is your desired rate of return. So what MIRR says कि individual cash inflow को हमें एक ही cash inflow at the terminal year पे लाना है. So this 30,000 of cash inflow that is generated in year 1 will be reinvested for further 4 years, 2, 3, 4, 5 at 8%. Likewise, 40,000 of cash inflow that is generated in year 2 will be reinvested for further 3 years. And likewise for 60, 30, 20. So देखो, 30,000 is getting reinvested at 8%. It will become 40,815 at the end of 5th year. 40,000 will become 50,388 at the end of terminal year, that is 5th year. 60,000 will become 69,984 at the end of 5th year, that is terminal year. 30,000 will become 32,400 at the end of 5th year, and 5th year ka 20,000 will be 20,000 only. Are you getting this? So present, so this is my value of cash inflow at the terminal year. Are you getting this? So year 5th mein, in our example, it was 106,788. But in this module ka problem, it is 213,587. Following? Okay? So again, since you are calculating rate of return, you have to use trial and error method. Your first trial would be at 8%. Sir, 8% Q? Because 8% is the company's desired rate of return given in the question. Okay, so trial 1 would be at 8%. Do you want me to try this now? Or you will be able to solve it as your homework? Bolo. Do you want me to solve this now? Okay, you will do, right? Everyone, I would strongly advise that please practice as your homework. Okay. And as of now, don't look at the solution because you will not understand. You follow what I have taught in class. ये टेक्निक से जाना, जो क्लास में सिखाया ना वो टेक्निक से सॉल्व करना है मायारा. आंसर वुड बी सेम. ठीक है. सो डोंट ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड द सॉल्यूशन गिवन इन द मॉड्यूल. आंसर यही आएगा. Solve it by the way I have taught you. ठीक है. So with this, we have completed or covered all the concepts of investment decisions. So conceptual understanding and conceptual explanation is done. Now still, since we have some more time, let's try and solve some practical problems. We will solve some problems in the class, and after that, ICAI will give you some assignments, few questions for your practice that you have to solve it as your homework. So that is all on estimations. See, whenever future is there in FM, you have to estimate because future is uncertain. Future comes with uncertainty. So it is always on estimate basis and considering all the different factors. A budgeting that you have learned, what is budgeting? It is estimation of future only. So there are certain assumptions, there are certain factors that you need to consider while estimating the future amounts. जब भी फ्यूचर की बात आएगी ना, फ्यूचर इज ऑलवेज अनसर्टन. सो वेन एवर देर इज अनसर्टनिटी इन FM, you back with assumptions and certain factors. ठीक है. So this is not the accurate or actual amount कि इतना ही कैश इनफ्लो होगा, but this is on estimate basis कि इतना हो सकता है based on various assumptions and based on your estimates. Someone had sir, only in this method we are finding. Why it is called present value? Because at the end टर्मिनल वैल्यू का हम प्रेजेंट वैल्यू निकाल रहे हैं ना. This we are discounting only ना. This is the terminal value of cash inflow. हाँ, to find terminal value we have used future value, but उसका तो at the end we are discounting ना. आज के तारीख में ला रहे हैं ना. Exclusion of finance cost and post-tax principle I've already covered in lecture 1. Okay, so let's try and solve some practical problems. Some problems that are very quick to calculate because we have very less time now. यार. Problem number 3. Let me try to take some problem which covers multiple points. Okay, let's take problem number 5. Cello Limited is considering buying a new machine. Problem number 5, Cello Limited, which would have useful life of 5 years and machine cost 1,25,000. Scrap value. Scrap value is salvage value at the end of 5th year, 30,000. With 80% of the cost being payable at the start of the project and 20% at the end of first year. So when I say 125 ka, you are not incurring at the start itself. The question says that 80% of this 125 is at the start, but balance 20%, it is at the end of first year. So when I say us first year के आप लोगों को भी discount, because that cost you are incurring at the end of 1 year. So you have to discount that as well. Understood? The machine would produce 50,000 units. Selling price is 3. Direct cost is 1.75. And annual fixed cost, including depreciation on SLM basis, is 40,000. So here they have indirectly given the hint on the method of depreciation. That depreciation has to be calculated on SLM. In the first year and second year, special sales promotion expenditure not included in above cost would be incurred amounting to 10,000 and 15,000. So in addition to this fixed cost and variable cost, there is sales and promotion expense. So we have to consider that as well. Calculate NPV of the project assuming cost of capital 10%. So we have to calculate NPV when WACC is 10%. Okay? And now, this is the question, but I would like to add one more point in this question from my side as an adjustment. ये तो question है, but उसके साथ यहाँ पे tax rate नहीं दिया है, right? So this question is without taxation. But let's consider tax rate of 20% and then solve. Okay? Assume that there is one more line in the question that tax rate applicable to the company is 20%. And then let's solve. So now how to approach, how to start with solution? Working note number 1. Calculation of cash inflows. Okay? First working note, calculation of cash inflows. For that, since the information is given from sales, so we need to start our format from sales. Format क्या था? Sales less variable cost will give me contribution less fixed cost, but excluding depreciation will give me NPBDT. This we have learned in our very first session. Less depreciation will give me NPBT. Less tax at 20% will give me NPAT, and we will add back depreciation, will give me cash inflows. बराबर यही फॉर्मेट था. So let's try to find or complete this table. And the life of the project is 5 years. So year 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. ठीक है? So tell me, year 1 का sales कितना होगा? Can I say it would be 50,000 into 3? Yes or no? 50,000 into 3? 1,50,000. You can directly start with contribution as well. Huh? Variable cost is at, this is rupees 3 per unit. This is rupees 1.75 per unit. So 50,000 into 1.75. 87,500. $87,500. 87,500. 87,500. ठीक है. So my contribution comes to 62,500. 62,500. 62,500. Now, fixed. How much is fixed cost? How much is fixed cost? It is 40,000 per annum. But this 40,000 is inclusive of depreciation. And here we want fixed cost excluding depreciation. So we will prepare working note 2. Working note 2. Calculation of fixed cost excluding depreciation. And how will I calculate depreciation? Since I have to follow SLM basis, the formula is original cost less scrap divide by life. यही formula सीखी थी 11th standard में. How much is my cost of machine? 125. Scrap is 30. Divide by life 5 years. बोलो depreciation कितना आ रहा है? The amount of depreciation is 125 minus 30 divided by 5. 19,000. 19,000. So can I say my fixed cost excluding depreciation would be 40,000 minus 19,000. 40,000 है ना? 40,000 per annum. Yes. So it is 21,000. Followed? So my fixed cost comes to 21,000 excluding depreciation. My NPBDT comes to 62,500. 62,500 minus 21,000. 41,500. 41,500. Next, depreciation we have already calculated in working note 2. 19,000. Using SLM. So my NPBT comes to 41,500 minus 19,000. 22,500. Less tax at 20%. 4,500. 4,500. 4,500. So my NPAT comes to 18,000. 18,000. I add back the depreciation because depreciation is non-cash expense. So my cash inflows per year would be oh sorry, depreciation is 19,000. This is tax amount. 19,000. Depreciation is 19,000. 37. So my cash inflows per annum would be 37,000. Correct? And इसके अलावा there is one more cash inflow in the form of scrap value. ये 30,000 you will receive ना at the end of fifth year. समझ रहे हो? So there is one more cash inflow in the form of salvage at the end of fifth year. 30,000. ठीक है? So year 5 में your total cash inflow would be 67,000. Are you following? ठीक है? So now next step is to calculate present value of cash inflow. Calculation of present value of cash inflow. See, these are just your cash inflows amount in absolute terms. हमें present value निकालना है. So we will prepare the format, the table. Cash inflow discounting factor at how much is the discounting rate? Oh, we missed out this. We missed out this expense. In the first year and second year, special sales promotion expense is included. 10,000 and 15,000. तो वो भी हमें माइनस करना पड़ेगा ना बिफोर टैक्स. सो यहाँ पे सब्ट्रैक्ट सेल्स प्रमोशन एक्सपेंस, sales expense sheets. So from this we get a learning that read the question very carefully, otherwise पूरी मेहनत वापस करनी पड़ेगी. So I am teaching you how to not do mistakes in exams. भले मेरी गलती हो गई. 10,000 and 15,000. So can I say I have to deduct 10,000 in year 1 and 15,000 in year 2 as well? Yes or no? Because these are cost. So everything will change for year 1 and year 2. For year 3 and 4, it will remain same. This was 41,500. 41,500 minus 10,000 minus 19,000. This is 12,500. This comes to 2,500. This comes to 10,000. And this will come to 29,000. 41,500 minus 15,000 minus 19,000. This comes to 7,500. This comes to 1,500. This will come to 6,000. And sorry, this will be 25,000. ठीक है? So please read the question very carefully. कोई भी cost, कोई भी revenue miss नहीं होनी चाहिए. Okay? So year 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So year 1 cash inflow is 29. Year 2 it is 25. Year 3 37. Year 4 37. Year 5 37. Discounting factor is at 10%, which is given in the question. And check whether discounting factor table is given or not. It is not given, then also it's fine. You know how to calculate. Sorry, in year 5 it is not 37,500, but it is 37 plus 30. 67,000 है. Salvage भी add होगा ना. So 0.909, 0.826, 0.751, 0.683, 0.621. So this will be my present value of cash inflows. Yes, year 5, 67,000. करो कैलकुलेट कितना आ रहा है. Just give me the total figure. Huh? 141,676. This is my PVCI. बोलो PVCO कितना? Sir, 1,25,000. How many of you are saying that sir PVCO is 1,25,000? बताओ. It is not 125, huh? Because of this 125, 80% has been incurred at start. That is at year zero, at initial year. But 20% is incurred at the end of year one. So usko discount करना पड़ेगा. Are you following? So 125 is not your present value of cash outflow. That is in absolute terms. Hope you are following. So working note 3 would be calculation of PVCO. Okay? Again, year 0 and 1. Start of the project is denoted by year 0. Today's point is denoted by year 0. आज के तारीख में 0 point पे हम खड़े हैं. Instead of cash inflow, this would be cash outflow. Discounting factor at 10% and PVCO. So my total cash outflow is 1,25,000. Yes or no? Uska 80% is in the beginning and 20% is in the end of year one. So when I say 1 lakh is my initial investment, that is at start of the project, and you don't need to discount that. 1 लाख की वैल्यू 1 लाख ही रहेगी. बाकी का 25,000 will be discounted with the discounting factor of 10% year one. ठीक है, 25,000 into 0.909 and total PVCO comes to 122,725. Okay, so my NPV is nothing but PVCI less PVCO. PVCI is 141,676 less 122,725. So my NPV comes to 18,951 positive. Since NPV is positive, company should accept the project. Are you following? Bolo. Any queries? In your module ka question, there is no taxation. It means if there is no taxation, my question to you, will depreciation hold any place? ये माइनस करके एड बैक करने की जरूरत थी हमें? दिस इज फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट, नॉट दिस, सॉरी. Will this depreciation hold any place or hold any relevance if there is no taxation? बताओ. No, obviously not, because depreciation in itself has no relevance in capital budgeting. Only if taxation is there, then tax savings comes. बाकी depreciation का कोई relevance नहीं है. So your solution in that case would end over here. देखो ये करेंगे 41,500, फिर -10,000 and -15,000, बस इतना करेंगे. No need to calculate taxes because tax rate है ही नहीं. So no need to calculate depreciation. No need to add it back. Following? ठीक है? Understood? Any doubts in this question? Last slide दिखाओ. Last slide ये era. So the question says that total cash outflow is 125. But entire 125 is not incurred at the start. Only 80% is incurred at the beginning. So 125 ka 80% is 1 lakh. And since it is incurred at the beginning, you don't have to discount. Baki ka balance 20% is incurred at the end of year one. So that we need to discount because it is getting incurred at the end of further year. So 25,000 into 0.909, 22,725. अंडरस्टूड. बोलो इस क्वेश्चन में कोई डाउट है? फटाफट से एक और क्वेश्चन कर ले बिकॉज वी हैव 10 मिनट्स स्टिल. आई एम वेटिंग फॉर योर रिस्पॉन्स. बोलो है डाउट? ओके. I need to take a small question. यार small नहीं दिख रहा है. Okay, let's take question it. It is small. And it is good question as well. In module, PVCO is taken as 1 lakh only. Hey, can you see it is not 1 lakh? They have taken this 25,000 in year one. They have subtracted it from cash inflow. लिया हुआ है. ये जो कैश इनफ्लो आया ना उसमें से माइनस कर दिया है. So that is also correct way of solving. That is not wrong. See here, capital 25,000 and it is subtracted from inflow of year one. So that is also correct. That is not wrong. पर लिया हुआ है. Is this clear? Now Jivani Hospital is considering to purchase a machine for medical projectional radiography which is priced at 2 lakhs. So hospital is planning to buy a machine. The project life of the machine is 8 years. Salvage is 18,000 at the end of 8th year. The cost to run the machine annually is 22,500. It is expected to generate revenue or sales of 1 lakh 20 per year for 8 years. Presently, the hospital is outsourcing the radiography work to its neighbor test center and is earning commission income of 36,000 per annum net of taxes. Hey, what is this? This statement is very important. Presently, company is earning a commission income of 36,000 net of taxes from some testing center. But once company fits the radiography machine, will the company now earn this commission income? अब company ये कमा पाएगी this commission income, this referral income? Tell me. Currently company के पास radiography का machine नहीं था. So company क्या करती थी? Company used to send its patient to some other test center and that test center used to give commission to our hospital. Correct? But now we in-house have bought a radiography machine and we are in-house taking patients and curing them. So will this commission income stop now? अब हम ये कमा नहीं पाएंगे. So can I say this is opportunity loss, opportunity cost? You have to add it with other cost. Are you following? Yeah, are you following this? Net of taxes, huh? This is 36,000 net of taxes. Means after taxes. So before tax कितना होगा? Did everyone follow this? Bolo. Is there any doubt that from now on, company will stop earning commission income? Because all the patients that hospital में आएंगे वो हम ही क्योर करेंगे, हम किसी और टेस्ट सेंटर में नहीं भेजेंगे. हाँ, हॉस्पिटल को इनकम होगी ना, वो दिया हुआ है ना 120. कंपनी विल अर्न रेवेन्यू ऑफ 1,20,000 because of installing this machine. So that so any which ways again to us. Are you following? So this commission income, this was a special adjustment in illustration number 8. That commission income that company used to earn is opportunity cost. Now means 36,000. This is after taxes, a net of taxes बोला है ना. This is after taxes. And this, so before tax कितना होगा? Can I say tax is 30%? So if 100 before tax is कितना होगा? Tax is 30%. This is 100. After tax is 70. And my tax is 30. So before tax is कितना होगा amount? How much income I would have earned before taxes? 51,430. 36,000 divided by 0.7. 51,430, yes. So when I say this 51,430 will be my opportunity cost, and opportunity cost, I explained you that it has to be added with your other variable cost and fixed cost. Understood? Opportunity cost. तो देखो मेरा कैश इनफ्लो का फॉर्मेट कुछ इस तरह बनेगा. I will start with sales. My sales is 120. Yes or no? Less I will subtract variable cost and fixed cost excluding depreciation. How much is the cost? There is only one cost, which is maintenance cost. That is 20 to 500. Yes or no? Less opportunity cost of losing that commission income, because now company will not earn that commission income. And can I say it is 51,430? So this is also my cost, just like any other cost. So my NPBDT comes to 1,20,000. 1,20,000 minus 20 to 500 minus 51,430. 46,070 less depreciation. Is the method of depreciation given in the question? हाँ, 428 429 चलेगा, 430 राउंड ऑफ कर दिया मैंने. Is the method of depreciation anywhere given in the question? So in absence of information, you have to follow SLM. So can I say my depreciation amount would be original cost less salvage divided by life? Yes or no? My original cost of machine is 2 lakh. Salvage is 18 divided by 8. 2 lakh less 18,000 is salvage divided by 8. कितना आ रहा है depreciation? 22,750. So my NPBT comes to 46,070 minus 46,070 minus 22,750. 23,320. Less tax is given at 30% into 0.36996 NP80 minus 6996 16,324. Add back depreciation because it is a non-cash expense. Add back 22,750. My cash inflow per annum would be 16,324 plus 22,750. 39,074. Yes or no? And likewise, same cash flow will be for year 2, for year 3, for year 4, for year 5, for year 6, for year 7, for year 8. But there would be an addition of salvage, which is of 18,000 at the end of year 8. Are you following? Yes or no? इसमें every year stream of revenue same है, stream of cost same है, stream of depreciation same hai. So every year my cash inflow would be 39,074 only for all the 8 years. But 8th year mein I have to add salvage as well. Followed? Then you have to simply discount the cash inflows. You are given with the discounting factors as well. इससे multiply करो, NPV निकालो and PI निकालो. And then decide whether the company should purchase the machine or not. Clear, students? The new point, the adjustment over here was about opportunity loss. The company or the hospital has to forego this commission income. 36,000. Why? Because now company has bought the radiography machine in-house. So अब company को commission नहीं मिलेगा. Since this is net of taxes, first we calculated before taxes commission income कितनी होगी. 6996 कैसे फाइंड किया मैंने? See, NPBT is 23,320. उस पे 30%. Tax rate is 30% ना? Tax rate is 30%. Understood, friends? Any queries? With this, we complete chapter of investment decisions. You will get some assignments for your practice. So please try and practice as much question as possible. And ICAI also conducts revisionary lectures, revisionary live lectures. So in that revisionary LVCs, more practical problems will be solved and you will get more clarity. But as of now, this investment decision session is completed. Okay? I hope all the concepts are very clear to all the students. And Vivek ji,
sir, I will take 2 minutes to
yes,
summarize.
Yes, sure. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Good evening, students. I hope the last session of this.
Sir, there is disturbance in your voice. It is breaking in between.
Decision was by taking some of the points which are not audible right now. Is it okay right now?
Yeah, your voice is breaking.
Just give me a moment to just shift myself. Is it okay right now? Is it okay? Is it okay right now? Okay, right now. Not stable. Still not stable. Still not stable. Okay, then. Okay, okay. Now then I will just interesting session, and thank you, student, for all your support. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Luckily, this was the last slide. Thank you. All the best.